going to Kansas City. If I come, I come.
Hey, welcome everybody to the 6th episode of Choppin It Up with the Cleavers. My name is Emmanuel Cleaver III.
And I'm Emil Cleaver.
And we're glad you joined us. Every Tuesday we drop a new episode. You can catch it out on YouTube. So subscribe to our channel, or you can catch it most places you get your podcast every Tuesday. Yep. So
what are we talking about?
We're going to jump into it. Something big happened at the Oscars. You hadn't heard. Well, Will Smith walked up to Chris Rock after Chris Rock told a joke. He told a joke, and Will Smith seemed to laugh at it at the beginning, but Jada Pinkett Smith did not laugh.
Apparently.
And so Will Smith goes up and slaps Chris Rock on stage in front of the world, the Oscars, and goes back to his seat and says, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." Says it several times.
Yeah, he said more than "keep it out your mouth."
Yeah, I know.
But we're not going to repeat it on this show, but you know what he said.
All right, so let me know your thoughts. First of all, was Will Smith wrong? I heard people on both sides. So what do you say?
Well, if we're just going to go into wrong, I mean, looking into it, yes, I don't think that you should assault a man on television or not on television. But I'm going to say this, and this may go against popular opinion. I thought it was extremely entertaining. Like Chris Rock said, I think it was the greatest night of television. Man, yeah. Will Smith smacked a man on live television.
Yeah,
and started cussing. "Keep my wife's name." Did you see Saturday Night Live?
No, I recorded it, so I'm watching it tonight. I knew they were going to talk about it. I knew that. It's a lot of folk. I heard Tony Rock had something to say. Chris Rock's brother.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, he just said a little something. You know, he did. What he said wasn't really a joke. It was more just viciousness.
Yeah.
Toward him. But yeah, I thought the whole thing was entertaining, and in no way did I think that the world would interpret it like this, would take it like this. I thought mainly it would be jokes, but I didn't think it would be the most important thing in the world for the next week or so.
Yeah, well, it was definitely entertaining. I mean, it was wrong, but it was entertaining. I mean, because, you know, you had never seen anything like that on live TV at the Oscars.
Not a slap.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was wild.
Yeah, they've had some wild things at the Oscars, but
not a slap.
I mean, yeah, never a slap.
Not a slap.
Never a slap.
But I say, of course, Will Smith was wrong. Now, here's what I heard people say, especially I've heard a lot of women say, "Well, my husband, I hope if he said something like that to me, that my husband or my boyfriend or my fiance would get up and do the same." And some even said, "I know he would do the same." And let me say, I don't believe it. There aren't too many people who would get up on the world stage and slap somebody at the Oscars. There are very few people who would do that.
Yeah, I think when he first went up there, I think he was kind of playing, and then he just got into the moment and said, "Man, I can't go back now."
He had to do something once he walked up.
And Chris Rock thought he was playing, and we had to say everyone needs to give Chris Rock an applaud because his chin is granite.
He took it.
He took that slap. He didn't hold his face. I mean, most people would they would have grabbed their face or something, you know, just to see it, that sting. But he didn't do anything. I mean, he was a little confused, but he took that slap. Will Smith didn't give him that Muhammad Ali training slap, but
yeah, you would think somebody who played Muhammad Ali,
he didn't
strike him would have been better. It was a little sloppy. The thing I thought, he wound up, he telegraphed the slap. If Chris Rock knew that it was going on, he could have ducked, slipped to the right, or slipped to Will Smith's light, came out with that left hook.
Yeah, Chris didn't know that it was serious.
Yeah.
So that's why he didn't. Everyone's saying he should have ducked. Yeah, he didn't know he was serious.
But here's the question. So you wouldn't have done it on live TV, and I know people said my boyfriend, I would have done it. I would have stood up for my wife. You know, okay, you say that. I don't believe it. I don't believe. Maybe you would have confronted Chris Rock after the show, but but I mean, I don't know that you hit him for telling a joke. I mean, what are we telling? We telling our kids if somebody says something you don't like, you're supposed to hit them.
People tell jokes every day, B. People tell jokes every day, B.
Yeah, they tell
You
jokes.
seen that movie, huh?
Who is it?
Oh my goodness!
Well, spit it out. Who is it?
Nah, I ain't even gonna tell you, man. That's, you don't remember Karen one? People get shot every day, B. People get shot every day, B.
Okay. Well, anyway, the people who are watching,
People get slapped every day, B. They do.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world. That's the thing that kind of shocked me, is that people get smacked every day and the world doesn't stop. I mean, I know these are famous people, but I just think that people took it a little bit too serious. And I think that the thing that I don't like is the self-righteous police on social media. Everybody, well, I would have done this, and I would have done that if I were.
You don't know what you would have done.
You don't know what you would have done because you've never been one of the most famous people in the world. You've never been worth over $100 million.
More than 300 million.
You've never walked in Will Smith's shoes. You never grew up how he grew up. You don't know what Chris Rock, how he grew up, how he thought. You never walked in his shoes, so you don't know what you would have done. All you know what you know what you think you would have done if you were in your shoes, but you can't talk about what you would have done if you were in their shoes because you don't know.
Well, I think people are talking about if it were me. If he were talking about my wife, I would have done that.
Well, I mean, different conversations. I mean, people are taking it everywhere. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Like I said, I thought it would be mainly jokes. You know, of course, there has to be some seriousness to it, but I didn't think that it would be the outrage that it is now.
So do you confront Will Smith after the show?
Yeah, I think that. I mean, if he was offended by the joke, he was offended by the joke. If I was him and if I was me, and if I was offended by a joke, yeah, I probably would have gone up to him afterwards.
You got to talk it out before you start swinging, man.
I mean,
Come on, man. We're civilized human beings.
Yeah, I don't think I would have just walked up to him and smacked him. I would have talked it out with him, but yeah, not at the Oscars. I thought he was just gonna go up there and play and get him in the headlock. Chris, quit playing.
In essence, it just means that Will Smith has some things going on. It spilled out. I mean, it was more than that joke. He has some things that
red table
that he's wrestling with, and it just spilled out at the wrong time. And that's why I say people, they go to the doctor to get your foot checked or whatever. But I mean, sometimes people, there's nothing wrong with going to see a therapist. He has some emotional baggage that needs to be worked out, and we shouldn't put a stigma on that. Because when you don't work out your emotional baggage, it spills out in unhealthy ways, such as walking on stage at the Oscars and slapping a man for telling a joke.
Yeah, now he may have given Chris Rock some of that baggage. Now Chris Rock has to live with that, being slapped on television. His kids see him getting slapped on television, and that's there for life.
They'll live there forever. People be talking about this years from now.
Yeah.
Years from now.
But like I said, I think he handled it well, and I think if he's strong-minded, I think he's gonna come through with this. He's gonna rise like a phoenix out the ashes.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is his ticket sales went up. So it benefited him right away.
He didn't talk about it yet.
Yeah.
He's waiting for Netflix. Yeah. Then he'll bring it up.
Oh man, what kind of deal they gonna give him?
I kind of thought he was gonna show up on Saturday Night Live last night.
That would have been good too, but he ain't gonna get the bukus of bucks showing up on Saturday Night Live. He got to get a special for that.
Yeah, they'll
but I've also heard people like, I'll never watch another Will Smith movie again.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. As soon as
That's
Bad Boy 4 comes out, I'm watching it. I'm not gonna dismiss Will just because he made one mistake. That's the thing about being famous on the world stage.
You can't make any
Everybody
mistakes.
sees your mistakes. And who among us has not made mistakes? The difference is everybody in the world doesn't know my mistakes. But when you're famous like that, everyone sees it. So I don't think, for somebody who hasn't been in trouble, he's done all these good things for years and years. We've listened to his music. We've watched his movies. We watched the sitcom.
We grew up with him.
All that. And so all of a sudden, because he does this, he slaps somebody that we don't know. I mean,
Personally,
we don't know Chris Rock, and we're going to say I'm never going to watch his show or anything he does. I feel sorry. I hope that I wouldn't be dismissed for a mistake. You would hope you wouldn't be dismissed just because of one mistake. We all make them.
that's that cancel culture.
We all make it.
That's what I've been saying for a long time. That cancel culture. One mistake and he's over with. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna stop watching his movies. I'm not gonna stop listening to Chris Rock. You know, hopefully Will Smith gets the help that he needs, but I'm not ready to throw him in the trash for one mistake.
No.
That's why I say that's the self-righteous police. Self-righteous police, all y'all out there, man, please stop it. You're not perfect.
Stop. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody. It was a slap. Now, I'm not saying a slap is good. You should not slap someone, but I mean, it was just a slap.
Well, maybe we should have a show one day and say when it is okay to slap someone.
Well, okay. I mean, we don't have to have a show. To me, so I heard people say violence is never the answer. Violence is never the answer. And my response to that is I don't believe that either. Sometimes violence is the answer.
Yeah.
The Civil War was necessary. That violence was necessary. So I think self-defense, you know, the Bible talks about Ecclesiastes 3, there's a place and time for everything under the sun. A time to steal, even a time to kill.
Yeah, violence is never necessary. Say that to somebody that's breaking in your house, slapping your wife in the mouth, or slapping your kids in the mouth. Then is violence necessary?
Yeah.
You're just going to watch it. Say, hey, stop that.
Well, the pacifists would. They try to stand in the way of it. I mean, they're pacifists who don't believe in any violence at all.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of folk, if you really thought about it, you say there's a time and place where it's proper to lay hands on someone. But it's not for telling a joke.
No, that was
Not
not proper. It was not proper. It was entertaining. Like I said, it was entertaining. I thought that people would be talking more about, in Kansas City at least, the murders. I mean, I think there were 3 murders last week.
Well, not Kansas City.
35 in the
over.
month of March, you know, but I guess Will Smith slapping Chris Rock is more important. We had a meeting yesterday talking about the new police chief, discussing who the new police chief
What
would
we'd
be.
like to see.
What we'd like to see in the new police chief. And I didn't see many black people there.
Yeah.
I guess they were talking about Will Smith and
You talking about you talking about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock? Well, you better care about who the police chief is, because that's who's going to be slapping you around.
yeah.
So,
New police chief dictates who's going to be slapping you around in real life. So, I mean, we need to drop the Will Smith smack talk. I mean, as much as we're talking about it, there's too much other things going on. Like I said, I never thought it would be taken this seriously. I thought it would be a few jokes.
right.
And then people would, of course, there would be some disciplinary actions, but I never thought it would be the biggest thing in the world. I mean, it's the biggest thing in the world while there's a war going on. Gas prices are ridiculous.
Yeah, it should have been just a footnote. I mean, of course you're going to talk about it because you got 2 of the most famous people in the country, known all over the world. So, I mean, yeah, you're going to mention it. But, last week, it was on the news every single day.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, once is enough. It's over. We ain't talking about it until Chris Rock comes out and says something. But here's the other thing, the question that came up, when are jokes too far? So I don't know if Will Smith or Chris Rock knew that Jada had alopecia. I don't know. I mean, we don't know. He didn't say. A lot of people didn't know. If you don't watch her table talk stuff, I mean, how would you know?
The downfall of Will Smith, the Red Talk Table. That's where he gets emasculated. I've never watched it. I've never watched it either, but I just hear about what goes on. She emasculates him, tells him how much she loves Tupac, and
they do put a lot of their business out there.
Yeah,
that's the whole thing. If you put your business out there, man, I mean that. But that's the thing. Chris Rock could have talked about so much more if he really wanted to go at her. But I think in his mind, he thought it was a lighthearted joke.
Yeah,
I mean, G.I. Jane. It was about a woman who was empowered, and she was the hero. So I heard it was either the director or producer of G.I. Jane said he didn't think that it was that bad because of how tough Demi Moore was in the movie.
They need to make G.I. Jane 2, and maybe Jada needs to star in it.
Yeah, well, we'll see. But but that's
Chris Rock is the drill sergeant.
When is it? That's a classic. But when is the joke too far? I mean, because that's part of it. Can comedians cross the line? And here's my thing. Comedians, that's what they do. They cross the line. I mean, what comedy is, if we go to what the ancient Greeks, comedy is just tragedy turned inside out. You all remember that in Greek class? I mean, we learned about the Greeks, but not the Egyptians. But anyway, that's another subject. But that's what it is. Comedy is supposed to be tragedy turned inside out. So comedians are always seeing how far they can push the lines. And I think a lot of them, they aren't trying to hurt people intentionally, but I mean, they're telling jokes.
Yeah, I remember this comedian got on me once. I was at the front row. That tall dude on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was at the front row, but his jokes were really, really racist. I mean, he was saying some really racist
to you?
stuff. Yeah, to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, okay, you're not like the TV character, but I didn't go up there and slap him. I wanted to. Actually, the manager of that place in Vegas, he actually apologized.
The manager did?
Yeah.
So the manager thought he crossed the line.
I mean, it was some pretty racist stuff. I wish I had pulled out my phone. I could have got him like Michael Richards on
Seinfeld.
Kramer
on Seinfeld. Yeah.
But
I mean, you have to ask the question: was he trying to be intentional, or just trying to be funny? That's the thing about it. Comedians are trying to be funny, so sometimes they say things that people don't like.
Yeah.
But I mean,
if I ever see that dude, I don't know. I'm not gonna slap him. I'm gonna just be like, man, I think you're a racist, man.
I think you're a racist, and go get you a Jimmy John sandwich.
You might need some help, man. I mean, some of those.
Get you a Jimmy John sandwich, because that's the commercial. You see them in those Jimmy John commercials.
Yeah, I saw the Jimmy John.
Get you a Jimmy John.
We don't promote Jimmy Johns. They do not sponsor this show.
Yeah, I'm just saying the commercial. You ain't going to go buy them. I'll buy you. Buy a sandwich from me first.
Yeah. If you want to buy a sandwich, if you watch this show and want to go buy a sandwich, come buy a sandwich from us. We'll make
Call
it for
me.
you.
I'll make it good.
Yeah, we'll chop it up.
Man, it'll be good. But so crossing the line, I mean, that's come up. And of course, that's happened with a lot of comedians. It's not the first time that people have accused Chris Rock of going past that line that you should not cross. But he's not the only comedian.
Yeah, there's a lot of comedians. I mean, weren't the hosts were saying some pretty offensive things.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could have taken offense.
Yeah.
What they say, but I mean, that's what they do. The celebrities are there and they're poking fun of them.
Yeah, the celebrities are saying, we're here, we're a big deal. Please watch us celebrate ourselves.
Watch me, see me, look how I walk. Look how I walk on the red carpet.
Yes. Look what we're wearing. Look what we say. Look how we talk, and we want you to be like us. We're special. We are special.
But they said that, but people treat them like that.
I know.
I mean, there's celebrity worship in the United States.
That's why we keep talking about this, because of the worship.
There's a lot of celebrity worship.
That's what the Oscars is about. It's a night of Hollywood saying, we're special. We make movies to entertain you regular people, and this is a night for special people. And special people, we are celebrating ourselves, and we want you to watch us celebrate ourselves because we're special.
Well, that's been going down every year. That was the second lowest watched Oscars of all time. So I mean, people I think are getting it's a little too much.
They're no longer the cool kids, and well, I think they are, because the celebrity worship is still there.
Yeah, it's celebrity
people
worship.
Might not like watching the show, but they still going to watch. Check and see who won those awards.
Well, that's the thing about it. You don't have to watch the Oscars. I mean, you can always find out who won. You can watch the red carpet stuff. You can do all that without having to watch the show. But I'm telling you this: if there was a slap every year, people would be watching it. If there were drama like that,
yeah. I mean, it was
not saying
good.
that you should slap.
Don't slap people. Don't slap people. Do other stuff. Instead of slapping, just look at him mean. I don't like that joke.
So what did you do when old boy from Everybody Loves Raymond?
I just didn't. The worst thing you could do to a comedian is not laugh at his jokes.
Yep.
And so that's what I did, not laugh.
What about everybody else? Did they?
Some people were laughing. Some people felt uncomfortable. But
See, I didn't even know he was a stand-up.
yeah, I mean, I don't think he didn't say anything really funny. So I think he was just has his name on the comedy club or whatever. But yeah, it was he didn't say anything funny. I mean, he was just mainly introducing the funny people. But I guess he was, trying to be funny in between. But yeah, I didn't laugh at him. Now take that, I'm not gonna laugh.
That is the worst thing for a comedian is somebody not to laugh at their joke. I mean, you can yell at them, you can hit them, and all that.
They want you to yell at them.
Yeah, but
I don't think they want you to hit them though.
But I'm just saying, you want to respond, tell them the joke's not funny, and don't laugh.
This is what you just have. Like The Rock hosted every year, and he can offend anybody. Ain't nobody coming up there slapping him. Will Smith wouldn't have slapped him.
A lot of people, I don't think he would have slapped. I mean, Chris Rock is a small dude, and if you look at it, looked like Chris Rock was, he balled his fist like he was about to square up, but he looked like, hey, Will Smith got about 50 pounds on him.
I had to check that out.
Yeah, no, look at it. When he hit him, he stepped back, and his fist was like balled. But then he's like, I thought twice about it. This dude was Muhammad Ali. So
maybe.
I don't know.
They gave Danny Glover and Sam Jackson
Nobody remembers any of that though.
Honorary Oscar. The two legends.
Well
deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved. Maybe they should have slapped each other.
No.
Just for play.
Yeah.
For play. Yeah.
But
don't slap. So the theme is, the bottom line is, don't slap.
Because somebody says something about you.
Yeah. And stop worshiping these celebrities. We can talk about something else. The world is still going on right now.
A lot of celebrity worship. And the Grammys. Grammys coming up next. On our next show, we will have seen the Grammys.
Kanye West, what is he going to do?
Yeah, I thought he was uninvited.
I don't know.
Something like that. I think Nas, that's why I don't watch it. I think Nas is performing.
Oh.
Nas, yeah, so I'm gonna check that out. Not Lil Nas X. I'm talking about Nas, the greatest rapper.
Nasir Jones.
So
the slap. We're going to be talking about the slap.
Heard around the world. No, ain't no slaps. We're moving on. So here's the other thing. So since we've been talking about this slap, and that's what everybody's been talking. Everybody's been chiming in, giving their opinion on what should have happened. I would have done this. My man would have stood up for me the same way. What was also online a whole lot is that more black men need to stick up for black women. And my response is, that wasn't really sticking up. I mean, Jada Pinkett Smith was not in any danger. She was not in danger. If Chris Rock were to go out there and start choking her, then of course Will Smith has to do more than slap. But she was not in any danger. So, I mean, if he wanted to stand up and shoot fire with fire, he could have said something about Chris Rock.
Yeah, but you don't want to get into it verbally with the comedian. So, especially somebody like Chris Rock.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't the best way to handle it. But get over it, people.
Yeah.
Get over it. Your life it's not going to affect your life. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the thing is that don't throw Will Smith away. Don't give up on him for that mistake. Don't give up on Will Smith. He's done some good stuff. Everybody deserves another chance. Not like he murdered someone. I mean, he didn't. It wasn't sexual assault.
Nope. It was a slap
to another grown man.
Yeah.
So,
hope we pray for both of them. Hopefully, both of them can recover mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah, absolutely. But since everybody has their mind on slaps, everybody's been talking about slap. We thought that this week we would give the 5 best movie/TV slaps of all time.
I just did movies. I didn't know we were doing.
Yeah, TV. Okay. I think all mine are movies too, but
yeah, I just did movies.
Yeah, slaps. Okay. So who's am I first or you first?
I think I went first last.
All right. Greatest movie slaps of all time. Number 5, I'm gonna go with Mommy Dearest. I know it was rough, a mother hitting the daughter, but the slap came when the daughter was a little older. I think.
Yeah, she was older.
She was older when slap. Now I've heard that some of her children. Who is it about? Audrey Hepburn.
No.
Look it up. So whoever it was that I heard some of the children came out said Joan Crawford said that wasn't true.
Yeah.
Some of her children said that wasn't true.
That was They did say
that they never saw any of that. But anyway, so that slap. The girl was older. She talked back. Joan Crawford didn't like it. Gave her a slap. It was a good slap. But here's the thing: just like Chris Rock, the daughter took it. She didn't cry. She didn't hold her face. She was like, "Oh, okay, that's all you got." That's my number 5. Number 4, they call me Mr. Tibbs.
What?
In the Heat of the Night. In the heat, I know it was a good slap. It probably should be higher, but I'm gonna tell you why the other ones were funny. That's why I have them higher. But in the heat of the night, Sidney Poitier playing.
Okay, don't go too far on it because I got that in my list.
Okay, a detective. But I'm just saying. So he along with the sheriff, they're questioning the white man. The movie came out in 1967. So the white man slaps Sidney. And Sidney comes right back. I mean, immediately slaps him. And that was unheard of, 1967, to have a black man slapping a white man in a movie.
In a movie, yeah, that was a big deal.
In the Heat of the Night, 1967. Number 3 on the list is Godfather. When Johnny Fontaine, he was a singer, Las Vegas singer. What? That was a good one. It was a good one. Even Tom Hagen started laughing when he did it, remember? So, Godfather movie, it's happening. Johnny Fontaine, the singer, he wants a part in the movie. He goes to Don Corleone, he starts crying, I'm never going to get it.
This part is perfect for me.
And Don Corleone slaps him. And Tom Hagen starts laughing at him because it's funny. That's why.
He slapped him soft, though. He was slapping him soft.
It was a good slap, but it was funny. That's why I have it at my number 3.
It was funny.
It was funny. And even people in the room, in the movie, were laughing because it was funny. That's number 3. Number 2 is Monster-in-Law. And no, but it was funny. They're going back and forth. Jennifer Lopez and Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda is the mother-in-law, and Jennifer Lopez the bride. And so I think it was Jane Fonda slapped her first. Then J-Lo came back, and they just started slapping each other like a slapping contest. And so that was some class. I mean, in real life, people would have been holding their jaws, faces red, hurt, stinging, but they just go back and forth slapping each other. Number 1 on the list is one I saw as a kid. It was hilarious, and that was in the movie Airplane. The airplane, the pilot went down with food poisoning, so nobody's flying the plane. One lady becomes hysterical, and so people start lining up to slap her, to slap the hysteria out of her. So that's what I have. And most of them I put in there because they're funny. Mommy Dearest, In the Heat of the Night, Godfather, Monster-in-Law, Airplane.
Okay, that's a pretty good list. So my list has some of those movies, but some were a little different. So I have a new movie, and I tell you the irony with this one. Number 5, I have Girls Trip.
Oh yeah.
Remember when Tiffany Haddish slapped old boy in the mouth? He came to town and said something she didn't.
Oh
like.
yeah, the one that was supposed to be
Luke Cage,
Regina King's.
Luke Cage. He played Luke Cage, and she just out of nowhere just smacked him.
That was a good one.
Jada Pinkett was in that movie, ironically. She was in that movie. That's crazy. Yeah. So. Girls Trip is number 5. Number 4, I have one you had is Airplane. Airplane was a good movie, great comedy. But yeah, everybody got in line to slap her after that. Slap. I mean, it was a slap fest. Some people had pipes and
baseball bats. Oh, hold up. It was Regina Hall, not Regina King. Regina Hall. Okay,
Hall,
go ahead. Yeah. Airplane's classic slap.
Classic slap.
Pull it up. Pull it up if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. So number 3, I have It's a Wonderful Life.
Okay.
George Bailey getting
that was a
getting the light slapped out of him. So he didn't deliver some drug to a
Man, that wasn't funny.
prescription.
He lost his hearing because of that
No,
slap.
he lost his hearing because
Oh yeah,
he
the
was in
ice.
the
But
ice.
his ear started bleeding. His ear started bleeding when he got
So
that
his
slap.
boss was mad because he didn't make this delivery. What are you doing? And George didn't deliver it because of his. He knew it was wrong, and this boss went to work, went to town on him, was smacking him, had a slap fest. And George, he forgave him, but yeah, his ear was bleeding and everything. I guess it's not funny, but
Yeah, but it was a good
just
slap.
kid,
Yeah.
but it was one of the all-time.
It's a memorable slap.
Yeah, it's a memorable slap. So number 2 is one of the great ones, Tombstone.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that. That was a good one.
So
That was a good one.
Wyatt Earp comes to town and they want to take over one of these gaming halls, and what's his name, Billy Bob Thornton, his character, he's just talking loud and talking reckless, and Wyatt Earp goes over there and just slaps him in his mouth.
Mouth starts bleeding.
Mouth starts bleeding. Wyatt's like, "What are you gonna do? Are you gonna do something, or are you just gonna stand there and bleed?" He smacks him again. Bop! Hard slap. I mean,
that was
he
a good
weren't no Will Smith slaps. These were hard slaps.
Yeah.
Mouth bleeding.
It was a good one. That was a good slap.
So that was number 2. That was one of the all-time good slaps in film history. So number 1, I had to go with In the Heat of the Night just because of the situation. It's the 1960s, a black man. So he's in Mississippi, and Sidney Poitier's character, he's a detective from Philadelphia stuck in Mississippi, and there's a murder there. And so the sheriff asked him to investigate. So he interrogates some white man, and this rich white man has black servants watching too. That's what made it so good.
That was
These
good.
black
They're
servants are watching, and he thinks he can talk to Sidney any type of way. And Sidney said something slick, and the white man slapped him real soft. And Sidney just said, "Bap!" slapped him back. And the white man was like,
And he wasn't going to do nothing.
You would have been hung for something like that. Or so
Ain't
he
your
said
day
something
anymore.
Like that.
Ain't your day anymore.
And Sidney slapped the mess out of that dude.
That was a good slap.
The greatest.
It was a good
in
slap.
my opinion, one of the greatest slaps of all time. So
was a good one.
Thanks, Sidney.
Thank you for the memories.
Thank you
for that slap.
memory, man. It's my
a
favorite
powerful slap.
of all time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone that made my slap list, all those characters, Wyatt Earp, Tiffany Haddish, thank you for slapping that man in that movie.
What are you have some honorable mention slaps? I'm thinking of Ron Burgundy in what was it, Anchorman. In the first one, Veronica Corningstone, played by Christina Applegate, slaps the TV manager for something he says, and the thing about it that's funny because he wasn't expecting it at all. I know, but she slapped him. That was also a good slap.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some honorable mentions. I'm sure there's a lot of them out there I can't think of right now, but yeah, those were my top 5. I mean, I could think of some TV slaps. When Florida slapped Michael Evans, she was upset about that, and she asked Michael for forgiveness, and Michael said, "I'll forgive you, Mama."
Still a good slap.
Yeah, it was a good slap.
Can't ignore the slap.
You know it's a good slap when you hear that sound, that flesh with that. Yeah,
that's not. I can't do it.
It's a clap, man. So we have our top 5 favorite slaps of all time in the movies.
We missed some. Let us know. I'm sure you have some favorite slaps.
In the 50s, in those movies in the 50s, those men
used to slap the women.
Yeah, the men used to slap.
That was crazy.
and it was acceptable.
Yeah.
Acceptable in those
Gone
days.
with the Wind.
Yeah, they just slap you real quick.
I'm like, man, that was rough.
Yeah, because they in those days when women got hysterical, they thought it was okay to just slap them.
They thought that's how you get them back.
Yeah, that's how you get them back. A good slap. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, we know that's wrong.
But we know that had to be all men writing that.
Yeah,
that was all men.
When all men were writing and producing and directing and doing everything.
Oh yeah, no. What happens? What happens when women get hysterical? Oh well, you slap them. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes, it
that's
works.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've come a long way since then, and now you get slapped at the Oscars by a man on man slap.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a little progress.
Come on, man. So let us know Every Tuesday, we drop a new episode, Chopping It Up with the Cleavers. So subscribe
If you
to our
don't
YouTube
subscribe,
channel.
YouTube said if we don't have 200 subscribers by the end of this month, they will send someone to designated to slap us. They will slap us. Do you want us to get slapped?
No.
They have a slapinator, and he will be sent to Kansas City to slap us on this show.
And the thing about it is, I mean, the slapinator will slap us, but he's going to get something back too. But we don't want it to come to that.
Slapinator ain't making it back he ain't making it back home.
He ain't getting out the house. So we don't want it to come to that.
Yeah.
So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Every Tuesday, new episode. Peace
We'll see
out.
you next week.
I'm of the models, here I am. I come, that's where I'm from.